Welcome back to Whipbusters. I'm Brian. We got Colbey today.
Hello, everybody.
Steven's here.
Yep.
And so is Rayce.
Yep.
Today we're going to talk about some of the games we're most hyped for this year. We've each chosen 3 games that are definitive release dates this year. Some of them might not have like definitive release dates, but we know they're 2019 games. Nothing that's in the air, like no Last of Us, no nothing like that. Games that we know for a fact are coming out this year. The reason I wanted to talk about this today specifically is because I've already played one of mine, and the Anthem beta was also out, and I know that's one of ours as well. So just a good time to kind of go over that kind of stuff. Colbey, we're going to start with you since the Anthem beta just ended or is still going?
The VIP beta,
the initial one,
just ended, and then the public one's going to be next. It's going to start this Friday, I think.
Yeah, I didn't pre-order it, so I'll have to wait for the public one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it goes from Friday to Sunday. I don't know if it's going to have any new stuff than the original. Like
I think
the
it's the
beta.
same one. Yeah.
Okay. The beta was really good. There was the only major problem that it had was the infinite load screen.
Was it just like an error?
Yeah, it was like they knew, like after like it started, they were like, hey, yeah, we know that this is an issue. The only way to get around it right now is to just close the game out and then restart it, and it'll allow you to join your previous session.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it just brings you all the way back in. Other than that, I didn't see any major problems with like gameplay or combat wise. Everything felt pretty smooth, which I know some PC players had some issues with the mouse controls, like for the flying. But
don't play on PC; it's easy.
They play with the controller.
Play with the controller, bro.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That game looks like it's. I mean, this is dumb because I don't play PC games. I do. I've got a nice PC, but I always prefer if the console game looks good enough, and it looks like this one does look pretty good on PS4 Pro and Xbox One X at least.
It does.
Was the beta enhanced? I think it was, right?
I don't know. It didn't give me an option to do the like performance or resolution mode like usually PlayStation does.
Interesting.
But for a PlayStation game, it did look nice. I do think it would look significantly better on PC. And the main thing about PC is load times, like because I know
they're always way better.
Yeah, like you just can't beat a PC.
Which is kind of I don't blame people for wanting it, but there's just so many errors and stuff you run into with driver compatibility and crap. I hate dealing with PC issues.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, I can't.
I prefer PC all day.
And I totally get why people do. If you're technically super competent, that helps. I'm not necessarily, but I've had so many times where I've had to adjust drivers, roll back on drivers, and it's just that's not I want to be able to click on an old game and not think about it.
Yeah.
And every time I click on a game that's more than like 2 years old, something's changed and something doesn't. It's got to re-download something or whatever. It's just frustrating. So my first question about the Anthem beta, since I haven't played it yet, how does it look compared to the blowout E3 demonstration? Because that game looked impossibly good, I thought.
I'm assuming they did the E3 on a high-end PC with a little bit of enhancements on it. Yeah. Because it didn't look as good from the PlayStation side of it. No, maybe the PC side looked as good as the E3, but from the PlayStation side,
the biggest thing that impressed me the most about the E3 demo was the draw distance. It looked like there was I didn't see anything pop in. Because they went the whole, they jumped off the thing and then went down, and then I never saw anything pop in. Did you see a lot of pop in or not?
Not really, because I think what they're doing with it is they're using the motion blur
to
hide some of the pop in stuff. But I when I was flying, I wasn't really paying attention to it, so nothing was like, oh, that just popped.
Is it 30 or 60 FPS?
I'm gonna say it's not a full 60 at all times. So I'm gonna say it's somewhere between 45 and 60 at most points. Speaking
of that, PlayStation has kind of figured out how to make 30 really good with their motion blur stuff. Spider-Man was 30, and Spider-Man looked really smooth. God of War was both. You could do 30 or 60, but the 30 looked really good in God of War. I imagine they're probably doing similar techniques there. So you were already excited about Anthem before. Did it change? Is it less? Is it more?
I'm even more excited now that I've actually played it.
That is a successful beta. So that's the first one for Colbey. Anthem was one of his big ones, and he is super on board. I was not on board that until I heard. I didn't even know it was supposed to be PvE only because I don't care about PvP at all. Yeah. So I'm super in on it, and I've watched a lot of the gameplay streams from the beta, and I'm super in for it. How about you, Steven?
I'm pretty much am. I'm not super excited for it like everybody else is. I just know it's a day one buy. I'm going to play it. I know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
The hype generated for me is on the same level as Red Dead. I know it's going to be a game. I'm going to play it. I'm going to love it. I'm just not excited.
No, neither.
I don't know.
Yeah. Even Red Dead, I wasn't pumped for until the reviews started coming out. Then I got Rayce. Are you an Anthem person or not? You think?
I think it looks really cool. The design of it looks interesting to me. It's very Iron Man-esque, I guess, is what I would kind of consider it.
Yeah, clearly influenced by that.
And one thing with that, once you're flying and you land, you kind of do like an Iron Man pose.
You do. How could you
like shake the ground and kill
animals?
You
would have to. That's
really
cool.
bad on the knees. But that's the main thing for me. I don't think I'll actually ever play it. I'll probably watch people play it and stuff, but I probably won't actually buy it or play it till it maybe goes down to like $20 or something like that. It just doesn't seem like a day
Usually
one purchase
those
for me.
games will have a version that goes down pretty quick because they get very expansion based.
I think it's going to end up kind of like Monster Hunter was for you, Steven. Like, I know at first you weren't like, I don't really like this. And then you're like, oh, I really, really like this. I think it's going to be like that.
It took me like a good, 20 hours
it was
to
a good while.
Get into it. Like, I was still having fun playing it, but I just thought I was about to be done with it. And then 400 hours later, no.
We played it for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't play stuff online. I had 5 hours of total playtime online from the little PS4 stats video or whatever that Sony's doing, which I really think is cool. The reason I'm mostly excited about that game is because Destiny was something that was interesting to me, but I did not like the art style at all. I was not into it, and it never. Every time somebody shows off their armor and their color palette in that game, it is boring and bland to me.
Yeah,
it's very frustrating.
The customization for the javelins, they're really nice because you can change your you can change it to where it's made out of metal or cloth or plastic, and then you can change the colors, and it affects the way the colors looks.
Awesome.
I don't know how the character creation is. I'm assuming it's not going to be too detailed because you don't ever see your character unless you're getting in the javelins.
And of course, it's a BioWare game, so the story is going to be more of a bigger focus than I would imagine Bungie would with Destiny. So yeah, that's Colbey's first one. Steven, what's your first game?
Sekiro.
When does it come out? What's the release date?
22nd of March.
March?
Let me double check that one because I know I'm getting a lot of dates mixed up. There's a lot of games that come out in March. So
that game, I think, had that game not debuted during E3, I would have been more pumped about it. It just got, for me personally, it kind of got lost in the E3 shuffle, and I was kind of soulsed out.
It is March 22nd.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's soon. But the little hints of Tenchu in there is why I'm pretty pumped about it.
Oh yeah, it's it looks like if you took Dark Souls, of course, Bloodborne. It's from Software, so it's if you take the combat and actually made it good. Then you've got this game.
But Dark Souls has the best combat, dude.
I mean, if you just want to hit
dodge or die,
I mean that's pretty much it.
I think Dark Souls has great combat. It's just very methodical, and I think that's pretty cool.
I mean,
this looks way faster.
It's not varied.
No, it's not varied.
No, it's you have it's paper rock scissors essentially.
But if you add Bloodborne into the Dark Souls mix,
of course,
it becomes much more. Because there's a variety of ways to play Bloodborne, but they're all fast.
But the games themselves are great, but I just think the combat is lacking.
I'm upset that they're recycling animations again. I'm very, very tired of the animations from Dark Souls, and those animations are a decade old at this point. It's absurd.
Even from Demon Souls, I mean.
Even from Demon Souls,
Demon Souls was awful.
It was. I liked it for what it was.
Because Demon Souls came out 2009.
That might have been 2009.
Had to be 2009 because it was before I started working at Best Buy.
It was very, very early, man.
Yeah. So that's it's 10 years.
So what is it about it that's got you so excited? Just the
Japanese setting.
The Japanese. That's what
Japanese setting feels darker than most Japanese games because you got most games like Neo. It's very colorful, very very vibrant, even though the background story is pretty dark. But just the atmosphere in this game seems to be a little bit more dark. I like that. I like that grungy kind of feel.
It kind of reminds me of some of the earlier 3D Ninja Gaiden darkness type games.
Yeah,
had that kind of same feel to it.
Neo, especially since it was.
Yeah.
It was just a Ninja Gaiden Souls, basically.
The closest game I could think of too, besides Tenchu, was Onimusha, which I recently played.
Replayed the HD remaster, whatever it was.
So I'm definitely hyped for it. I think Onimusha kind of pushed me to be more hyped for that, and got me more ready to play Resident Evil 2.
What are you more hyped for, Sekiro or Ghost of Tsushima?
Well, since Tsushima, we've only seen one thing
Tsushima's
on it,
but that one thing we saw was breathtaking,
extremely beautiful,
incredible.
Sekiro.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it's more tangible.
That's true. It's right here. Rayce, about you?
For me, I'm most excited about Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out.
That's what, tomorrow?
Yes.
Tonight.
So the point we record this podcast is tomorrow.
Yeah, from where we're recording this, it releases tomorrow. I am a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. The whole reason I bought my PS3 originally is because they teased Kingdom Hearts 3 back when the PS3 released, which ended up becoming Birth by Sleep, I believe. Yeah, because it had all the armor and stuff like that ultimately ended up becoming Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. That was originally supposed to be Kingdom Hearts 3, and they teased it, and I was like, okay, it's obviously going to come out on PS3, because that's the whole thing, is like 3, PS3. It's always been on PlayStation, except for Chain of Memories, which no one really cared about.
That game was awful.
Which one's that one?
That was the Game Boy Advance.
No, it was Game Boy Advance.
That's crazy.
It was like turn-based. It was really weird.
Yeah, it was like turn-based card combat. It was just not good.
Very strange. So I was like, I don't have any worries about this. And then little did I know, they're like, hey, remember Chain of Memories that we made for Nintendo? Let's just make everything else for Nintendo. And I got very upset. But, oh well, that is in the past. We're back to where we need to be. And I have gone through and either gotten the remakes and stuff where they made them for the consoles and stuff and went back and played those games, or watched the cutscenes, and then have gone back even more recently to watch an entire like correct timeline order videos, so I can kind of figure out everything that was supposed to go at what times and things like that. And the story in it is just it's kind of amazing, like how we got to where it is, because this was not supposed to be what happened, but it just got popular, and the art style is just completely fantastic. It is the strangest idea for a game. It's literally like you went to a fan fiction or something, and someone's like, hey look, I got this anime character that I designed, and he's gonna play with Disney characters, and oh, I like Squall and Cloud from Final Fantasy, so they're gonna be there too. And then some game developer was just like, yeah, let's
it's very weird that it kind of totally got away from the Final Fantasy part.
Yeah,
it's very weird to me, because it was kind of pitched as Disney cross Final Fantasy,
right?
And then Final Fantasy at this point, I don't think it's even represented in 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, not really, from what I can see.
Not that we've seen.
I think I've seen reviews mention that they, unless it's like, of course they could be trying to throw you off. Who knows? But I'm betting that it's not referenced, which is crazy.
As long as they have, I think it's Advent Town, or whatever the main town is that was from the first game. If they have that, I know at least I'll have Squall and
I think something. I read that there's not, but I'll be interested to see, because you'll know soon.
It'll be really interesting if they don't, because even though even from the first game, it was a small part of it, because you never really went to a Final Fantasy world. I mean, you kind of got around it a little bit with Hercules. That was always where the Final Fantasy characters came in, whether it was what was his
Cloud.
name? I know Cloud was there. Sephiroth. From 2, I think it was Ovan or something like that from Final Fantasy X. Either way,
he's about Orin, right?
Oron, yeah. So he was there. So I feel confident I may at least see a character. I don't think they'll play a big part of it, but just because they've already kind of set it in the continuity, I at least have some hope that you'll at least see something.
Just a cameo or two.
Yeah, or something like that, because that's really all they are.
I think it's so funny how absurd is the right word, absurd the story got in that game.
Yeah.
Especially for what it originated as a kid's game.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Because that first one was very much like it's a kid's story. Like, it's a good kid's story, but it's a kid's story. And then because they couldn't get 3 out and they had to keep pumping out plot, it got as convoluted as a Metal Gear game, which is it's absurd.
Harry was explaining it to me one day. I was like, "Oh my god, dude! I have no idea
you just
what
have
you
to
just
stop.
said."
If you didn't experience it, you just don't get it. You just can't get it.
So apparently, there's like 5 different Soras. There's people who look like Sora. So I'm like, no.
Well, you got like Roxas, but the thing is,
Roxas is Sora's nobody.
No, don't.
No. The only thing you got to know is that all the names are jumbled up and mixed up and have the letter X added into it.
Oh, nice.
Sora, Roxas. Think about it. That's it. That's the only thing I learned.
I'm kind of glad.
Axel is Lee.
Yeah.
Kind of glad I skipped
that. I'm done.
It does look awesome though, and it reviewed very well.
Sure
even if it didn't, I would play it to my heart's content.
Well, of course, it's not going to get bad.
I thought it would review. I actually thought it would review in the low 80s, but it ended up reviewing in the high 80s.
I thought it was going to be about the high 70s because of disappointing ending or something like that, but apparently it's still really good.
I've heard a lot of the people who've had hands-on time with it before the reviews said there was control issues, and I wonder if it's going to be one of those things where, like Red Dead, where everybody gave it perfect 10s, and then once you actually got into it and the hype was away, it's like, it's great in many ways, but there's still something missing. I'll be interested to see, but we'll know soon because Rayce is about to have it, as we know. Yeah. For me, it's Resident Evil 2 was the first one, and I've already played it, and it lived up to it, and it was awesome. I'm not going to say anything more than that because I want to wait for when Tyler's on. We'll discuss Resident Evil 2 in more detail because the hype for that I have for that game, because Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, the hype I have for that game was very high, and it blew it out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
Like that rarely in life does that happen. That game was incredible. Second one for you, Colby.
My second one is Fire Emblem: The Three Houses.
Is that confirmed for this year? It should be, right?
I'm almost positive they confirmed it for this year, but I don't think there's a set date for it. I feel like I want to say they said in the spring, but I don't know.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
Did you say Fire Emblem?
Yes, I did. I'm hoping it can compete with the last console Fire Emblem, which was Radiant Dawn, which is my second favorite game of all time. If I'm not, it was either my second or third. I don't remember what we did on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I really wanted to play those games, and then somehow we still don't know this day, but somehow Liquid ended up getting in like my console.
Liquid.
And
sorry,
I spilled ice cream on my.
So like somehow Liquid ended up getting in my console, and we still don't know what caused it. Mm-hmm. And I was never able to play it. Like I got it the day of when to put it in, and I never got a thing. So I was like, okay, I'll just pull the game out. And then there was just like this syrupy like liquid just came out with the disc, and I was like,
oh, that's awful.
Yeah,
what is this?
I would recommend anyone who has a Wii or a Wii U that can play that game, but it's like $300 on Amazon. So I don't know if you can be able to find it.
I've only played the 3DS game.
Really? Awakening's
the first one.
Awakening's really good.
That's what I've
really,
heard,
really good.
It's a lot of people's favorite.
Yeah.
I mainly played like all the Game Boy Advance ones. So the ones with like Lynn and then the twins and stuff like
Erica
that. Those
and
are the
Ephraim.
ones I played.
Yeah. I played all the ones that have been released in English, and I played 2 of them that were only in Japanese with an English patch that I found online. One of them was Hero of Light and Darkness, which is a really, really good one.
Okay.
And then whatever one Roy's in, the Blazing Sword. I never finished that one because the patch messed up.
Okay.
He's technically in the first one for the English release. He's just in
he's
the
a
after
he's
scene.
a baby.
Yeah.
Awakening. I didn't get very far in. I probably played for less than 10 hours because I'm not good at those games. But I liked it enough to whatever they do next. I'm like next console when I'm going to jump in.
Yeah,
because Awakening had a lot of like difficulty friendly options where you could kind of scale it to whatever you wanted to be.
I don't think that was the first one that introduced casual mode.
Yeah,
but after playing,
might have been.
I feel like there was one of the Japanese only ones, but
gotcha.
Like going from like playing Radiant Dawn on like the hardest difficulty and like having to restart a level after each character died, I don't want to do that anymore.
That's the problem.
I'm such a casual now.
Yeah, that's how I would do too.
And still, if someone dies, I just restart anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
That's the reason I can't. I might as well just play casual because I'm going to just restart the thing anyway. Steven, number 2.
This is going to seem like it's coming out of nowhere, but Dreams.
What is that?
For PS4.
It's very interesting.
You know why? Because I've seen some of the videos.
You see the PT video?
Yes.
PT video was spot on, dude.
The recreation of PT was what really like hyped me up for that game, because I'm not much into world building games that you build stuff into it. I want to be able to play the game as is. I don't care about building. It doesn't, like Minecraft or any other game like that, I don't really care for. This seems like it's going to be the game that's going to break my mold on that and like just engross me into something that I want to create. I want to create, I don't know, I just want to create something.
I don't want to create anything, and I want to play other people's stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do.
Because I did that but the servers and stuff, like it wasn't great, but in Little Big Planet, people were able to do some really weird stuff.
Oh, first-person shooters in Little Big Planet.
Absurd,
How?
And it's the same company, so now you have a real tool set, and the fact that people can share music, and you get one of the coolest things about the game is you get XP for whatever it is you want to do. So you can go in that game and level up and like become bigger in the game doing just the thing you're good at. So you might be a person that goes in and just makes music. And every time you make music, every time it's shared, every time people add to it, you get XP. So it's going to really, instead of being like you've got to do a little bit of everything, just do the artistic thing that you're good at, and people will be able to use them. I think probably in 3 or 4 years after that game releases, we're going to see some. Yeah. We're going to see sequels to games we've always wanted.
Oh yeah.
in that weird art style.
And they're not supposed to release any videos either due to the NDA agreements or whatever. Mm-hmm. I forgot the acronym for it. But from what people have leaked out,
NDA.
From what people have leaked out, it just looks phenomenal.
Most of what we've seen before, all the characters looked very like clay-y, but then that PT thing just looked like a real house.
Exactly.
So apparently you can just make games
sound effects and
real.
everything.
It's same recordings. It was awesome. Rayce, you're next.
So for me, I'm gonna say Hades. It was shown at the Game Awards this year.
What's the name of that developer? They did Bastion and Pyre. What's the name of the developer?
I forget. I just remember the game itself.
Super Digital? No, it's not.
Just what was really
Supergiant.
This will be our first podcast after our mythology episode. So I have really big thing for mythology. So I was kind of like, okay, who is this guy? Like, what is he going to end up doing? And then end up being Hades. And I was like, well, guess what I'm playing? Just based on your name alone. Just it caught my eye. The play style of it looks different than most games I've played. So it gives me something to kind of branch out of my zone of what I typically play. Because most games I play are either a real-time strategy thing like Fire Emblem. Then there's just like third-person stuff I like, and little stuff like Metroidvania style things and stuff. So this will be a little bit kind of between some of those games that I play. So I'm really interested to see how it goes.
I looked it up. At Supergiant Games is the developer. Yeah. I like how they do, so far anyway, they've done very different stuff. Mm-hmm. It's not just they didn't get success with Bastion and now they just make Bastion-like games. They've done something that Pyre was like essentially a sports game. And Hades is very different. It reminds me of what's the studio that did Castle Crashers? Half Brick? No, it's not Half Brick. Is it Half Brick? I don't know.
I feel like it is, but
I don't know. That's probably wrong. Whoever made that game, because they did Alien Hominid first, and then they did not first, but that was the first one that I knew about, and then they did Castle Crashers, and then Battle Block Theater. And every game they do is just a very different, always similar art style, so you can tell it's their game. Just like I think Hades has another. Not announcer, what do you call it? The voiceover guy, like a narrator. They have another like dynamic narrator, just like in Bastion. But so you can tell it's still a Supergiant game, but at the same time, it's very, very unique and different. My next one would be Mortal Kombat 11, but just like the first one, I'm not going to spend too much time about it because that's the one I want Tyler for.
Right.
But it looks so the debut gameplay for that game. Was astonishing graphically. I could not believe it looked as good as it did.
Yeah, when you told me, I was like, there's no way that the fighting game is going to be the best looking game
ever.
It
looks so good. Just the environmental effects, the characters' faces look like just, man, I was literally blown away by it. And in a couple of days, there's a new Combat Cast. It's supposed to announce Cabal, so I'm super pumped about that. But yeah, Mortal Kombat's one of my favorite franchises. But I do want to wait for Tyler to get into that one too much because he's also a big fan. Last game for Colbey.
My last one's not a full game. It's actually the expansion for Monster Hunter Iceborne. I'm super excited for that just because we put 1.5 million hours.
Just a new realm, I guess?
I think it's more than one new zone. It's like maybe 2 or 3 new zones.
That's pretty cool.
If they do the same thing with this like they do Ultimate like other games, there's going to be like 20, 30 new monsters.
That's awesome.
Which would be really nice.
When does Geralt come out for it?
The 8th. So not this weekend, but the week after.
How much is he, or is he just part of the game?
I think he's just part of the game.
Yeah,
because I don't think they haven't released anything you have to pay for yet.
No, not at all. There's no like the only like microtransactions are like random cosmetic stuff.
Okay, that's cool. I'm down for that. I'm
nothing
definitely
like, catapult your level.
I'm super excited for it. I love Monster Hunter.
What's your main weapon?
Charge blade.
Okay.
Yeah,
Switch axe.
I'm good at the charge blade.
Sword and shield, babe. My 4 hours.
Yeah. You probably think the sword and shield's a good weapon. Wait. Sorry, I've been watching lots of crap guides to Monster Hunter.
The sword shield is a really good weapon. Like, it's super underrated. Like, it does a lot of damage.
It's just, for whatever, it's the only one I can control in a reasonable way.
That's what I killed Behemoth with.
Really?
Like, it saved us the game a bunch of times.
You also have a lot of stuff you can use while you still use the sword and shield, but having to sheath a lot to use certain items, so it's kind of neat.
I was the Flash Pod King.
What's crazy is that game doesn't have any like low tier weapons. If you're good with the weapon, you're good with the game.
It's very balanced, which is cool.
Extremely.
Which is hard to do in that kind of game.
I honestly, I think the combat in that game is more punishing than Dark Souls.
Oh, easily.
The reason I didn't stick with it is I get very, very bored of just HP sponges. Mm-hmm. I'd rather every battle take half the time.
Yeah.
And either just kill me. Mm-hmm. That's how I lose by running out of time should never be a thing that can happen. Either I die because it's too hard or I kill it.
You should start playing with us again because since we got to because at first we were all bad at the game. We were just bad at it. And now that we actually know how to play, we can get up to high rank and do some actual fights. And it won't take
6 to 10 minutes, mission's done.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Like high end.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Last game for Steven.
I don't necessarily have one that I want to have like a repeat of.
Okay.
Because I know, Rayce, you're probably going to say the one I was going to say.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do like a couple of small ones, like tidbits.
Okay.
With it. So I've been watching the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tournament which is pretty sick. It's already been done. Everything. They announced 2 new fighters, Jiren and Videl.
Oh,
yeah,
Videl?
they released
Really?
Videl.
Videl is sick
I love
looking.
Videl
Trust
so
me.
much.
Great Saiyaman is like her,
her costume.
Well, no, like she's in her.
She's in her like
costume.
regular
white short
tank
hair,
top.
tank top.
Okay, like purple shirts. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
I love Vidal's look so much.
Vidal's awesome.
Yeah, and it
Great
looks like her
character.
level 3 is like pulled in Great Saiyaman, but he stays for like most of the fight.
Oh, that's pretty
Like
cool.
it looks sick.
Interesting.
And Jiren plays exactly how you would think he would play. Very reactive,
That's
like
cool.
very stoic,
That's awesome.
and I mean everything about it. He looks. Oh god,
Jiren's
so
the only
good.
character they really needed to add. That sounds weird, but like the only character they needed, like for
Jiren and Roshi are the only 2 that I really
Roshi.
wanted.
Yeah, Roshi should be there
Is
over some of the Gokus.
is the new Broly in that game?
He will be, yes, because
Okay.
they just did announce. They didn't show any gameplay of it, but new Broly and new Gogeta.
Okay, because since the movie, he's absolutely my favorite character now. Like
Well, good.
They
They
did
actually
him
gave him a
so,
story.
They did him so perfectly in the new movie. It's not even funny.
I hate when I grew up and I realized that it wasn't Gogeta. It ended up being pronounced Gogeta.
Oh,
and then
man.
the longest time I was like, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Why did I always say
It
it
fit,
like
but
that?
it does. Yeah, it
I've
doesn't
been
look like
dumb
that.
all these years.
Yeah.
At least I still have my favorite character,
But-
T-Bronx.
Yeah.
You know what I
T-Bronx.
what I didn't like as a trailer
What?
is the action RPG they did the trailer for. The Project Dragon Ball Z
It just
action
looks
RPG.
like in the
Yeah.
first 2,
It
3.
doesn't
Yeah.
look like, you can't tell what it is. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be very different than that game. But
Yeah.
like from the trailer, it's just another cinematic fight. Like it doesn't tell you anything about the game, and I hate that
No.
kind of trailer.
Yeah.
Even though I don't want to talk more about it, I just love Videl. She's just such an amazing character.
Vidal's
I
a
love
cool
when
character.
like just the way she's designed, the short hair, the fact she's like not like a damsel in distress most of the time. It's awesome. I love it. Anyways,
You must hate Super then.
I haven't gotten that far into Super,
Yeah,
I haven't
sure.
either.
so we'll figure out if I
It's like
do.
3 episodes, and she's not even like primarily.
She's
in
just not a factor. It's not. Like
No.
she's, not that she's like mistreated or anything. It's just
It's background.
Yeah, the
pretty
only thing
much.
I've seen was that she had a baby Saiyan that ended up making Goku go God. So
Oh god.
Yeah,
Okay, I was
yeah.
trying to
very
think that's
beginning.
Yeah,
you know,
bring it
really,
back,
are y'all
yeah.
that far into where you
Well,
forgot the first season?
that's also pre-GT.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Jan is GT.
GT's not even real anymore.
Yeah.
Not
Some would say
necessarily,
it never
no.
was.
But that and my other one is Walking Dead is finally coming to a close next month.
Oh, they're actually gonna finish it.
Well, yeah, they already came out with episode 3.
Okay.
Yeah, episode 4 is the last one, so we get to finally see the
I
end
didn't
of
even know they
Clem's
come
Tale.
out.
I didn't either.
That's how behind I am on that. That's
No,
crazy.
no
man.
advertising because they just needed to put it out. They're
That's
not going to put any
crazy.
extra money into it. I guess.
I guess that's the issue, which is
Yeah.
kind of disappointing. But I wonder, how was 3? Did you play it already?
I haven't played any of the new episodes yet.
Okay.
I have played Walking Dead season 3.
What was their response to
Most
the ones
people
they've done so far?
positive,
Okay,
not
good.
overly, not under, just positive.
At least the story's getting out. At least the plot's getting out. Nothing else.
Yeah, it's about
Anything
time.
else?
That's it.
That's it. Rayce,
Yeah, I thought I
your
had
turn.
more than 2, but I don't.
Devil May
There
Cry.
it is.
That's of course what I'm here for. My literal number one game series of all time. Just art style and everything, and they are bring back probably my favorite voice actor of Dante.
Which one is it?
It's the same voice actor they had in Devil May Cry 4.
Johnny Bosch?
Yeah,
It's not
Johnny Young Bosch.
I like him as Dante.
He
as well.
he just did really well. I love the little quips and stuff he did.
Black Ranger.
Yeah,
Go Power Rangers.
he's a lot of things, isn't
He's-
he?
he's-
Like,
he's a very
he does a
prominent
lot of stuff.
and
He's a
lots of
prominent
stuff like that.
voice actor now. Yeah.
He was just fantastic. I'm really interested to see how they do it. They made him old, which I kind of foresaw for a while because I thought was really weird in their timeline that technically 2 is after 4. So I'm interested to see where this one falls in. And I kind of hope they keep it how it should be, where it's not super easy, but not at the same time where I like rip my hair out like Dark Souls.
It won't be.
So
It'll be
Yeah.
easy.
yeah, with it being more popular, I think they'll go more with the 4 thing, especially with Nero being in it, because that was literally the training wheels you
I
could
think
do
it's
in a
going to
video
play
game.
the most like DMC.
Yep.
I hope
It looks
does,
exactly like DMC.
because
It
we
does to me.
because how we all feel in this room. I don't know about Colby, but the other 3 of us feel like that was the best in the Devil May Cry series so
Definitely
far.
my favorite playing
it was
game.
just
Yep.
the way it played.
You can argue 3.
You can
and
argue
I would
3
believe
just
that.
because the animation and everything was just really nice. Had a really
if you like
good
a challenge, 3 was
story
real hard.
to it as well, comparatively to 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It had just a really good story, but This one I'm super psyched about with how it all interacts and everything. Like the one person in the game so far I don't think I would like has already like fallen into canon.
Yeah.
If you read the book and stuff that takes in, because when she like makes a comment about his like pistols and stuff, if you read the books, there's actually a girl that made Ebony and Ivory, which is apparently either her mother or grandmother.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is kind of dope.
I like the girl. I love that. I might like the.
Yeah.
I think her design is awesome.
And then
easily.
I thought it was
one of my favorite. Yeah, me too. One of my favorite design characters in the game.
And then even though I was not super excited for V, I thought it was probably one of the coolest decisions they did, because as soon as they were like, oh yeah, we're going to release a third character, his name's going to be V, and we were all like, oh gee, what else starts with V? Could it be Virgil? And then they were like, actually no, it's not, shut up. And I was like, okay, you win.
The idea that he's like a summoner that's cool, that it's a different playing third character, but they could not have designed this character more not for me.
I don't like
I
his
hate
shoes.
his design.
I don't even play these games, but he just looked bad.
It looks rough.
He wears like sandals.
Oh god.
Yeah, like
But-
you're wearing leather pants and then sandals.
On the flip side, the fact that a summoning character in that kind of game, I can't imagine how it's going to play. So that I'm interested in the play style, but just man, it's super try hard to
They'll
me.
probably end up making it to where because they showed he has a sword.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being is, have any of y'all played Devil May Cry 4?
I've played all of them.
In there's a weapon called Lucifer, where you just summon infinite amounts of swords.
Right.
So I think for his main combat, it's going to end up doing something
combat they showed
like that.
was very, very much like that in a way.
Yeah.
Like it was very much you stand at a distance, and it's almost just like a ranged character in a weird way.
He's probably going to be on the quicker side. They're probably going to style it three ways. They're probably going to have V be super quick. They're going to have and range. They're going to make Dante be that more mid, where you can kind of go towards your play style, especially if they keep the styles and stuff from 4 and 3,
which they might.
Which makes him pretty much to where whatever your fight style is, you can play Dante. He's just a little more complicated, and then they'll probably start you off with Nero, so you learn basic combat and stuff, and be a little bit more slow and heavy hitting.
I do like Dante's design a lot, though. As an older Dante's cooler.
Older Dante is best Dante.
Yeah, the little beard,
older and like younger, but not like in between.
Adios, kid.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry could not be more. It's just not my kind of thing.
It's very try-hardy for you.
It's very try-hardy for me. And DMC was on the outset. That's not a game whose trailer interested me at all.
The very first one?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I was skeptical, and it hurt me.
But then for some reason, I don't know why, all that cringe didn't make me cringe when I liked it for what it was weird.
Good performances.
Yeah, it was much more...
Good vocab. Like,
there was a little bit of subtlety in it, but I didn't expect
good
that at all.
dialogue, too.
Yeah, some of it was awful, but some of it was very good.
Yeah, but the dialogue that was good was
when
good.
they slowed down, it was great.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hoping the same thing, because I know that the director liked DMC more than people wanted him to.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be way more influenced by that. The last game I'll mention is Doom Eternal.
Yes, I almost forgot about Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal. Doom is my Doom 2016 specifically. 2016? Yeah, 2016.
Yes.
Is my favorite first-person shooter of all time.
Yes.
By a significant margin. The storyline it's the first time Doom's had a storyline that was 3 had a somewhat compelling narrative.
It did.
1 and 2 don't. They're just dumb, go to Mars and kill demons. But this was like...
No, they killed your rabbit. That's why you're upset.
Which
that was a whole thing in like the first one. It wasn't big, but like apparently like at the end there's a rabbit that's mentioned in the manual that was
maybe so. It could be a manual.
It was really thing, It was one of those really dumb
Doom
things.
1 before first-person shooters, before Halo happened and changed everything, was my favorite. But then the fact that they were able to... Doom just stepped up and decided to be something different, and I really respected that. Like, we're not going to do recharging health. You're going to pick up your ammo. You're going to pick up your health. You're going to go back to, like, if you stop for a second, there's no popping. Like, you can't really hide. There's no cover. You just have to keep running. You stop running, you're dead.
It's literally run and gun.
It plays nothing like any other shooter on the market.
You don't even reload. They
took
that away.
You just have to keep picking up ammo.
That's one thing you have to do in Anthem. You have to pick up health. Like, your shield comes back, but your health does not come back.
I love that. I love drops like that.
Yeah, it's hard.
And then like the melee kills that I did not think were cool in the trailer, I loved in the game. The actual gore kills or whatever.
Yeah.
And the idea that they tied the ammo to your chainsaw and health to the gore kills, I think it was.
Yes.
That was really just brilliant game design. And Eternal, that initial reveal with the hook shotgun and all that was very, very interesting to me. Looks like it's going to be sort of like a Metroidvania-y in terms of like you have to get that to
right.
get a different area. So
I don't mind that.
Couldn't be more excited, man. I think that game's going to really surprise some
I think
people.
with that, it's also going to seem a little bit. I mean, even though Doom was quite fluid for what it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once you got good at it, at least, I think this is going to make it a little bit more just the fact you're going to just be constantly just chaining things.
I think nothing's going to make you feel cooler than Doom.
No.
Doom's 2016 already made you feel like the idea of the Doom Slayer is such an OP character, just going to hell and killing all of it. But they make it even worse in the new one.
Even his like little bit of story, the fact that he was locked in those things and they had to take his suit off and they put them in separate areas and put big spells on it, like, hey, do not awaken this thing because it is bad for us and you. Don't think you can kill it because you can't.
He never says a word you don't want him to.
I don't want. Yeah, exactly. I don't want him to say anything because why would he say a word?
One of my favorite video game moments of all time is when he smashes that initial exposition screen.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to hear it. I just want to let me kill stuff. And then shortly after, it makes you stop and listen, so it kind of defeats its own self. But regardless, that moment was very powerful. And the soundtrack of Doom was incredible. So I can't wait for more extremely heavy metal. Did you hear about the death metal choir?
No.
They were hiring for a full death metal choir for part of their soundtrack.
That's right up my alley, man.
I want to see what those people look like, dude.
I want to see pictures of the recording. And I'm sure they will have
They're
it.
going to be hardcore.
I'm pretty sure they all look like just normal people. Just watch.
Probably so.
Just like, they're like you're like London Philharmonic or something.
I've never heard a death metal like choir. I've heard singers, but I've never done a choir of 20, 30 voices at the same time doing screaming top of their lungs.
I got to show you a world of music,
Lord.
man.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Yeah. Steven's your man for obscure music.
Yes,
you name like 2 adjectives and metal behind it, I can find you a genre.
That's awesome.
Absolutely can.
I do like some of that stuff, like that melodic metal stuff. I like.
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
I listen to a lot of instrumental anyway. So
I love that stuff. Any last words on things you're hyped for? This is a very short episode. Just kind of get something out there.
Sometimes you got to.
Yep. Anything else?
There is a game coming out called Hightail, which is basic.
What?
It's called Hightail.
What is this?
It's basically Minecraft mixed with Skyrim. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is just another Minecraft. This is stupid. Why would anybody play this? But then I started watching. They started getting like spells and armor and axes and hammers and stuff. I was like, okay, this might be actually really, really cool. And it's got like dungeons and stuff in it, so it's like a dungeon crawler Minecraft thing, which I don't know if you build stuff like in the same way as you do in Minecraft, which I don't really care. I just want to do dungeon stuff and throw some magic and hit some stuff. That's like the only other game that I can think of.
I'm hyped to see what the new gaming trend is going to be after Battle Royale.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think Battle Royale's already peaked, and we're in the peak right now.
And we'll be in the peak for a while.
Yeah.
Fortnite's not anywhere for a long time.
I'm hoping like the next thing will be something that we all can get on board with and all like.
That would be fun.
It doesn't matter how popular it is, but we like it a lot.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I agree. Anything else?
Yeah.
Rayce?
I'm good.
All right. That does it for today's episode. See you guys next time.